That's all I want to hear. Marcy, I apologize for purposely standing in front of your sign. That's all I want to hear.
I apologize for purposely standing in front of your sign.
Have a good night.
We talked about how that this area was derelict when it was created for City Hall.
Freedom of speech
and it
was
was
made for
improved.
speech that you don't like.
And then
That's
we
what
had
the First Amendment was made for.
the wonderful Riverfront Mall, which now we know is crumbling. If we as a city give up on this space,
I think she just disrupted the
Riverfront
meeting
Mall
for
will
us.
continue to crumble. You have so many tools at your disposal to make this happen. The downtown master plan talks about catalyst sites available downtown. Maybe this end of town isn't the be-all and end-all for City Hall. Perhaps there's another location downtown. They have been listed in the downtown master plan. Catalyst sites, opportunity sites, they are there for anyone to look at and to use. We have the potential for this area, including the Riverfront Mall, this property, recent parkland, parking lots nearby, to create a civic campus. And we have the tools to do it. Everything from transportation grants that would help close the Lawrence Loop at this very location, pedestrian, and all of the excitement around a river walk that we have longed to have. You also have all sorts of transportation grants, USDA grants for the farmers market to move to the top part of this parking garage. There's so much potential here. Let's grab it. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Jennifer Carter, I live here in town. I just wanted to speak about my puzzlement about the downtown Lawrence Master Plan 2040. It reads like, it's called out as a playbook for the future of the city, and to read it, study it, use it when you see changes that need to be made. For those people that aren't familiar with the master plan, forgive me for, I know commissioners, you already know, but the participation, the people that took place in that spent, I don't know how many hours, but it was over 300 workshop participants, 833 residential surveys, 38 business and property owner surveys, 29 youth and student surveys, and that's just to name some of them. And the end result is, when they spoke to every bit of planning of the downtown, I'll read to you in case you're not familiar with it, and I'll be quick. But when they address the riverfront, it says the riverfront sub-area is home to City Hall and acts as the civic anchor of the north end of downtown. The area currently comprises City Hall, the Riverfront Plaza, and a parking deck. The Riverfront Plaza includes additional city offices and a hotel, but is primarily vacant. The city should consider consolidating its current offices and the remaining vacant space to ensure room for expansion to city offices in this area as the community continues to grow. Before expansion of city offices is necessary, the space could be utilized as a business incubator for local entrepreneurs interested in a mixture of commercial, retail, restaurant, and entertainment uses. Now, I know from what I've read in the Lawrence Times and in the Journal World that the document that is part of the selling agreement for the Blessed Drive building states that that space will be enough for about 10 years. And then you will have to consider something else. So basically it's a stopgap that has a fantastic parking lot, but a really bad location to serve the needs of the city. And to continue, like Mr. Hill has specified so wonderfully, especially for those of us who haven't been here that long, this was voted on. This space was voted on. And so that really carries a lot of weight. I also think that all of us are aware that commercial real estate right now is not the business to be in. And so we've got no business buying something that's in an area that we don't ultimately want to be in. If you answered honestly, you would say, I'm confident. You'd rather stay in downtown. If you leave downtown with all these staff, the services.
Jennifer, it's time.
Okay, thank you.
People blocking the doorway. Mayor, we got people blocking the door here. I don't know why.
Can you please make room for people that want to consider?
Senator, he's talking to you.
Sure. Your rules don't even make sense to a sitting Kansas senator, man. I mean, that's the reality of it. There's no sympathy for her. The word sympathy is between shit and syphilis. That's all I got for Amber. Because it's disrespectful what she does in here. Kind of like a sitting Kansas senator who will purposely violate somebody's First Amendment rights during a city commission meeting. Happened tonight. Happened tonight. Purposely. And she even stated such, vocally. Yeah. And you know, the thing is I voted for her over and over and over throughout the time that I've lived in Lawrence. She lost that vote tonight. I will never again vote for her. Because she disrespected the public for no reason. It had nothing to do with her. But she chose to do it. And she chose to disrespect the public in this room. Not only that, but you had all kinds of conversation happening back over here in the corner. We got video of it. You just ignore it. That's the disrespect of a Kansas senator. Somebody who sat in this room and using the same bullshit that you guys use. We've been in this room enough that we should know how things work. She should have known it was the city manager report. Is she not paying attention? She knows what my rights are, my First Amendment right to hold this sign and not have somebody purposely come up to stand in front of it and enunciate such. Not only that, but you let her and her friends block the entrance here. A fire hazard. All at the same time, Bart. I've been threatened with arrest for blocking that door. Sitting Kansas senator can do it. That's how it works in here, man. It's frustrating. I haven't cussed once. Did you hear me? They're in this public comment. I haven't cussed once. Did you hear me? Not kidding about that vote. You lost it.
Yeah, what Michael just said there about Marcy Francisco is true. She stood right there and attempted to block Michael's sign there, and then have it on video where she told somebody that came walking up there that she was standing there on purpose to block his sign. So, question, a 20-year senator, Marcy, when you swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, does that include the First Amendment as well? Why in the world would you think it's okay to block somebody's protected First Amendment speech as they're trying to redress their government here? Why in the world would you think that you could do that as a senator? Along with that,
this way, thank you.
Along with that, it's very interesting that Amber Sellers once again isn't here in this meeting, and is that my?
I think
No. That's not my.
I did it recently.
Okay, I was saying it to Bart. Because he just said time.
Allow me a second to correct it.
Sure.
Okay.
I was gonna say the whole meeting's gone slow, but that 3 minutes went really fast.
I think we were about a minute 30. But
Minute 30? Okay, so once again, we see Amber Sellers has left the meeting here, and so talk about disrespect. She's above even sitting here listening. There's a Kansas State senator here. She doesn't even want to listen to that. And it just makes me wonder, Amber, since you're participating remotely, how would you like it if you went up to the State House there and you wanted to redress your grievances to Marcy Francisco here, and she just got up and left and didn't give you the common courtesy or the respect as a citizen with their First Amendment right to do that? Now we've established that Marcy wouldn't give a shit about your First Amendment right to do that. She doesn't care, but you know that's a typical, that's a Democrat thing. That's a Democrat thing. Democrats don't give a fuck if you disagree with what they say, of what they stand for. So an opposing view there, Marcy just cannot stand it. Just cannot stand it. Has to block it. And I see that happen with like activists, like trans activists. They'll flock and try to block, so the block signs and stuff like that. But from a state senator to do that, it is just it's a sign of where the Democrats are. If that's your leadership, that's who you're voting for. If you're considering voting for that, just know that she would do that to you if you have an opinion that she doesn't agree with. She will block that as well. She does not care about the citizens' First Amendment rights.
We're at time.
We're at time now? All right.
We had one more public comment.
Let me go ahead and check and see if
Oh, I'm
there's
sorry.
public comment. Oh, no,
Trying to talk about the lines I said, this is why I didn't, otherwise I would have brought it up then, and they just said, this doesn't have anything to do with the line of voting. So sorry about that.
Marcy, you've been a senator for darn near 20 years, and earlier in this meeting I witnessed you attempt to block someone's free speech sign, and then I heard with my own ears you say that you were intentionally standing there to block it.
I was not blocking somebody's free speech.
You straight up told that guy that came walking up while you were standing there blocking the door, you said, I'm standing here to block this sign. So my question, 20 years as a senator, where do you stand on the First Amendment?
The sign was fine.
Why were you trying to block it?
But there is a problem with not respecting people who are speaking at the meeting on other issues and trying to make the sign be more important than the individual who's speaking.
So you don't respect First Amendment rights? He has a right to do it.
He was still doing it. I didn't stop him from doing it. I didn't take the sign away from him. I didn't say he couldn't have the sign.
The question was, why were you blocking it?
I wanted to see on the screen, because that's, if
You
you're in the
purposely
audience,
said-
you're not, I wanted to see on the screen and the focus be on the person who was talking so that that's what I could concentrate on.
Why? Who are you to do that?
You shut down my free speech.
You're a senator.
You still
supposed to-
had
And you said you purposely were standing there to block it.
You brought the
But Marcy, as a
poster
senator,
up. brought
why
the
would you
poster
do
up.
that?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Why would you act that way? We've been trying to get these guys to defend our First Amendment rights, and you and that other lady come in here and just trample on them right in front of them.
Because you don't like what it says.
And that's the problem. The First Amendment was written for the speech that you don't like.
You do realize that, right, Marcy?
The First Amendment is to allow us all to speak.
The First Amendment was
Right.
written to protect the speech that we don't want to shut down. Because you
had the sign. You had the sign. You could bring it above.
Is your name Marcy?
we're not talking to you, sir.
Okay.
Are
We're
you
not
an
talking-
elected
No,
representative? So
Excuse me.
Marcy,
We're
this
not
is very
talking-
much in line with how you were at the library when I asked you about signs, equal protection of signs. You straight up said that they could put restrictions on signs. No, they cannot. I have a feeling you do not support the First Amendment. Matter of fact, can you name the 5 elements of the First Amendment right here, right now, Marcy? Can you name those 5 for us, please? 20 years as a senator? I have a very, very strong suspicion that you do not know.
I've seriously voted for you for years, all the years I've lived in Lawrence, and you just trampled my rights, Senator,
Because you didn't like what
because
he
you didn't
said.
like what I said. Why would you do that?
Would you do that to everyone else that brought a sign in here? Or just the ones that you don't like? Do you do that up at the Capitol as well to people? You don't like their speech, Marcy?
Everybody likes to label me as this crazy right-wing extremist. The problem is I'm a liberal voter, lady. I voted liberal my whole life. I voted for you multiple times. Multiple times. It will,
That's
don't
Michael
thank,
saying
don't
that.
thank,
That ain't me. I'd
don't
never
thank
vote
me
for you.
because it'll never happen again because you trampled my rights. You literally took my individual First Amendment rights and said, screw it, you don't matter. And that's a problem for me when our elected officials act that way toward us.
You had the sign. You were able to keep the sign.
You found the
Yeah,
sign
of course.
offensive and you decided to block it.
Because you didn't like it.
You've already said you didn't like it and what
I
you wanted
said-
to see.
You said it should be more should be more respectful, is what it said. And because it wasn't in your eyes, that you took it upon yourself to block his speech. And then you even told that guy that came walking up, you said, I'm standing here to block his sign.
It's on video, Marcy.
That's the stuff that when I go up to the Capitol and do protests, that little amateur college age protesters do. They come flocking up to block signs. Never thought that a sitting senator would want to do something. Well, you know what? You are a Democrat. You are a batshit crazy Democrat. So it does not surprise me you don't like speech that runs counter to what you believe in or what you like.
We've been fighting to get law enforcement and these city officials to respect our rights and defend them. And it's hard to do that when our state senator comes in here and tramples them. Hayden, how many times have I had to talk with you guys about defending our rights? That's all we've ever wanted. And you've basically showed them how to just trample them.
It's very un-American, Marcy. Very un-American. You do swear to support and defend the Constitution, right? But then when it comes to it, you'll stand in front of a sign because you don't like it?
You said it on video,
I
Marcy.
wanted to focus on the comments at the commission meeting.
Who appointed you to do that? Who appointed you to do that?
I wanted to focus.
Now, would you say that you're being more of a communist or an American when you do that? Are you being more communist or American? Would you say you're being more of a Nazi or an American? Because I'll tell you somebody else that didn't like free speech. Nazis. Could not tolerate it. Just like you. You could not tolerate that somebody did something that you did not like, and so you had to run over there and block it. Like a Nazi. Because you didn't like it. That's not free speech, Marcy. And that's very, very concerning that a sitting
upholding and
senator would want to do
defending the
something like that.
Constitution.
You should be like, oh, say whatever you want. I love America. Say it. I love America. Instead, you're like, no, you can't say that because I think that it's disrespectful. Who do you think you are? I think a lot of the stuff you do is disrespectful. So what? So what? I ain't gonna stop you from doing it. Why would I?
I have a problem with a
point.
Kansas senator who took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, making a direct assault on my First Amendment in a city commission meeting. I have a real problem with that, especially in light of the amount of violations that happen on this street that I've called out and tried to get people to do things about and have been pushed aside and ignored, while your own neighbors are getting beat up, thrown out of their homes, and all the different causes that I've gone up against, and they're just more than comfortable now to refer to me as a racist.
I may have made a mistake.
You may have made a mistake, huh?
I would say you made a big
Do you think
mistake.
you made a
For
bad example for the
sure.
people in that room? How about that lady that stood right there next to you and then wanted to come up and play nice with me afterwards after she had trampled my rights? You trampled on my First Amendment right, Marcy.
At some point in time, I would like to understand how I did not take the sign. I did not
You
say
purposely
that you couldn't.
blocked it. You purposely blocked it, and you enunciated
There
that.
is not a right.
You enunciated that you were purposely
There-
blocking my
I
sign.
don't know that there's a right for one person to speak over another person.
No, there isn't.
Especially
I
at a
wasn't
public
speaking over
meeting.
anybody.
Are you saying that sign is speaking over people? Are you saying that?
And did you stop
'Cause-
any of the school
'cause-
kids who were holding the signs up there, or any of the other people that hold their signs up there at the
all night
door?
long. And then what about a shirt? Would a shirt fall into that as well there, Marcy?
How
If I
about
wore a
blocking
shirt-
the entrance? You were blocking the entrance, creating a fire hazard, Marcy, on purpose, trying to block a sign. Hayden, how far are you going to follow us?
Yeah, really? Jeez. Is this what our taxpayer money is for?
Is it not clear that her fear is unfounded? I can tell she's scared. I don't know why, but she
I
feels...
have been attacked walking home from a city commission.
Lady, do you think we're going to attack you?
No. I
Then
don't.
why are you scared of us?
I'm not scared necessarily of you. I'm just saying, I
We're
have.
living, breathing Americans just like you that want our rights to be upheld just like you. I didn't used to go in there and cuss in that city commission meeting. When I first went in there, I never cussed. I got mad because they won't listen to us. I got mad because they don't hear the problems that we're having on the street. I got mad because they let this guy and his buddies at LPD justify all the violence on the street that I've seen and that I've witnessed and documented that you guys ignore.
The chief.
So you can disrespect me and treat me like I'm the pariah of the town. Two things to understand, Marcy.
Okay.
Number one, I'm not a racist.
Okay.
And number two, I'm an American citizen and I have fucking rights. And you are an elected representative who does not get to come into a commission meeting and decide that somebody's sign doesn't deserve to be seen, so I'm going to purposely stand in front of it and block it. That was a conscious choice you made tonight.
Doesn't meet your approval. So
Because it didn't meet your approval.
It's got to be censored.
That is not the behavior of an elected representative that supports and defends.
In the
Marcy, there's
His sign
Marcy.
wasn't in there either, Marcy.
Marcy,
his sign was
the
in
Marcy,
the frame
you trying,
of the,
Marcy, let me explain something to you. You
Okay.
trying to find a way out of this right now, making up stuff isn't helping, because we've got you on camera admitting to what you
I'm not trying
did.
to get out of this.
Then quit trying to explain it to us. Own it and apologize.
I apologize.
For
I apologize for standing. We're getting ready to speak, but I did understand that when I was trying to, well,
you
see, now
can't
I'm explaining
apologize for just purposely standing in front of my sign. That's all I want to hear, Marcy. I apologize for purposely standing in front of your sign. That's all I want to hear.
I apologize for purposely standing in front of your sign.
Have a good night. You still don't get my vote.
Before I leave, I just hope that you are able to put yourself in other people's shoes. Would you like it if an elected person did that to you? Would you like it if anybody did that to you? And then if you say, no, you know what, I wouldn't like that. I would like to have my free speech. Then you should say, well, I won't do that anymore to people. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Maybe
felt
you
I
can
heard
take a
you
lesson
both
from
in
this?
free speech this evening.
Because if she can apologize, maybe you motherfuckers could apologize. Maybe you motherfuckers can apologize sometimes.
Let's go. See what this is here?
We need people to defend our rights.
Chief Lockhart.
My pleasure to introduce the Honorable Eric Rosen, Justice of the Kansas Supreme Court, who will administer the oath of office.
Mr. Secretary, thank you. It's my honor to be here this afternoon in this beautiful, beautiful chamber.
All right, well, will the 26 returning senators please stand for your oaths? If you're new, just remain seated. We'll get to you in a bit.
Please raise your right hands. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Senator of the State of Kansas, so help you God? Respond with, I do. Very good. Congratulations.